So, good evening, everyone. Am I audible, visible? Are audio visuals perfect? Are audio visuals perfect? Okay, so I welcome you all to Unacademy's new channel, that is UPSC CSE optional. So, over here, as you all know, today I am here to discuss optional selection strategy and why political science is one of the best optional. This is what every student keep asking. So, which optional we should start with? Which is the best optional to start with? Which is the best optional to for UPSC? How to score best marks in optional? So, these are some basic questions which every student has. Hopefully, those students are here. They must be having the same. You people must be having the same question over here as well. Okay, which is the best option to start with, or highest scoring optional, easiest optional, optional with least syllabus. So these are basic questions which every student who's preparing for civil services have in their mind. So today we have this session. First thing we'll be discussing over here is what kind of optional you need to select. What is the strategy of optional selection? Then in the second half of this session, we'll be moving towards why political science is better than various other optionals which students they keep picking, they keep choosing after listening so many stories, so many you can say uh, dictates, and so many you can say ideas they are taking from their seniors, and then they are choosing that optional which they are not able to handle. So this is one thing you need to understand, that optional choosing optional is one of the is better half one. So if you are choosing the right optional in the starting only, you are into half of the battle. Next thing is you have to fight it, you have to prepare it. Many students they first choose optional depending upon the market strategies, depending upon the market dynamics, depending upon how what topper has got this year, what topper which topper was having which optional. But later on they find it very difficult and tough to prepare with this because they don't find adequate material, they are not able to understand it, they don't have adequate test series, and then ultimately after second and third attempt they keep switching the optionals. So technically speaking, this waste a lot of time of the voice issues. Any issue with the voice? Am I audible? Not audible. Not audible now. Not audible. I guess things should be fine now. Okay. Okay, so I was discussing one thing, that why choosing the right optional is battle half one. So ultimately, what happens that student they pick and choose any optional depending upon market dynamics, depending upon suggestion by seniors, and ultimately they find it very tough to prepare. And what happens during mains examination? Either their syllabus is not complete, or they are not well versed with that optional. They are not able to write the answers, and ultimately, what happens? Despite of so many attempts, despite of so many efforts, you tend to lose your attempts, and ultimately after 3 or 4 attempts you tend to get that this optional was not good for me, then you switch to some other optional, and there is so much of tussle and so much of hassle in your preparation. So first thing I want to tell you that UPSC is all about minimizing your efforts and maximizing your results. So whenever you need to minimize your efforts, you need to first look into the fact that many of the things are overlapping in the syllabus. If you will see, 90% of your syllabus is nothing but humanities. Okay, so in case if you are choosing such kind of syllabus which help you in preparing GS, or in such kind of optional which help you in preparing GS, you will be better than others. So that is why today we will see what kind of optionals we can choose and why political science is better than others. So this is me, Kapil Sikka, and as you all know, I have been teaching on this platform since long, and I teach polity, Indian economy, internal security, post-independence India, and political science and international relations. So as you all know, today we will be first seeing why we need to do this optional selection strategy very carefully. Why you need to have a very careful approach. Why we need to have a very careful approach while choosing the optional. First thing is, it is one of the most important strategy of exam. One of the most important strategy which you need to look at. Okay, so most important strategy it is. Another thing is most daunting task. After so many researches, you get to know which optional is best, which optional is not best. So this is one of the most daunting tasks. But if you do it rightly, if you do it in a right manner, things will be very easy for you. You will be able to sail through the examination. You will be able easy. It will be easy for you to prepare for GS. It will be easy for you to prepare for the optional list one. Then another thing is, it is race half won. So whenever you choose right kind of optional, your 50% of problems are automatically they disappear. Why? Because you have chosen such optional which is now going to help you in writing essay paper, which is now going to help you in writing GS paper. And another thing is, when optional is most consuming part of examination, if you'll see, 500 marks are only for optional. So whole of your process, in whole of the process, most of the time you will be reading optional, you will be studying optional, or you will be in touch with your optional. In such case, if you choose something which is very interesting in nature, which is very captivating for you, which is very understandable for you, your preparation will be much easy to do. So this preparation will be an easy affair. Then why good optional or right kind of optional helps you in cracking the examination, nailing the examination? One thing is, it decides your interview call. So interview call is very much like, if you have a good optional, and let us say if you have got 300 plus marks in your optional only, so definitely if you are getting 300 plus marks in optional, you will be getting some 150 marks in essay, 140 marks in essay. Then let us say 100 marks average in each paper, GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Interview call is for sure. So that year, if you are scoring in any of the year when you are writing mains, if you are scoring such kind of marks are there, it is very much definite that your interview call is for sure. Ultimately, if you are way above than others, you have good marks in mains, and then after that you get average marks in your interview as well, your selection is almost confirmed. But if you got good marks in interview as well, then you will be into the top rankers. Then another thing is, if you have an easy optional which is very much relatable, very much current oriented, optional which is very much comprehensible, marks are very easy to fetch. Let us say in humanities, many students I have seen, in case of sociology, they tend to stick at 250 around 250 marks. So average marks in sociology comes to some 250. After preparing so hard, student is getting 250. Whereas on the same time, when it comes to PSIR, average marks have reached to some 280 275 marks. So you are 25 marks better than the sociology student. Ultimately, your chances of clearing the examination are more bright. Then, if optional is relatable, it is current oriented, it you can relate it with your day to day life, so automatically it will keep you motivated and you will be preparing it every now and then. Let us say we'll see the syllabus of PSIR, and PSIR is something whenever you are reading newspaper, 50% of your optional is prepared from your day to day reading only. This is clear. So this is the list of optionals, and this is the report submitted by published by UPSC every year. So right now we have 2016 report. If you will see over here, when it comes to PSIR, success rate is some 8.8%. So you will see after science subjects, pure science subject, one of the highest success rate comes for your sorry, PSIR, and this was in 2016, 17, 18, 19. Things are improving year by year. So year by year you will see more and more students are getting selected with this PSIR optional. Okay, so this is what you need to see. Another thing, while choosing an optional, you need to have four important parameters. Parameter one is background. What kind of background the optional has, what kind of background you have. Background, when I say, I mean your graduation subject, your post graduation subject. Many of the students, they have fetish with science subjects. They are coming from state universities, yet they are saying that mathematics is good for me, I'll take mathematics. Economics is good for me, I'll take economics. They do not understand that over in UPSC, the competition is not with yourself. Okay, you are very good at mathematics, no doubt. Okay, that must be fine. But when you are writing optional with mathematics, there must be several students from IITs, from various NITs. They are also basically doing with mathematics optional. As you know, a student from state university will not be able to match a student from IIT. This is very clear. Okay, so don't mind these words. So ultimately, he will be scoring better than you, or the syllabus over here you will not be able to complete. You will not be able to complete it. You will not be able to comprehend it, because if you will see the syllabus of science subjects, it is somehow matching with the syllabus of various good institutions in the country like IITs and ITs. Okay, so students with these institutions are able to crack with these kinds of subjects. I'm yet to see much students from various state universities who are able to crack the exam with subjects like mathematics, physics, etc. When it comes to economics, in case of economics, you can see this year there were many students from economics optional, but most of them were from IAS background. They have already qualified IAS, or they are from Delhi School of Economics. So economics per se is good. It is a good optional, provided you have a proper background of understanding and you are able to compete. Look, this is a competitive examination. This is not state university that you will score 75%, you will be into first grade. You are scoring 68%, you are into first grade. Okay, over here you need to inch up, you need to fight for every point of marks. For that, you need to minimize your efforts and maximize your results. Another thing is content availability. Content availability is another important factor of this paper, of any optional selection. If you do not have good content, let us say in case of economics, you do not have good coachings across the country, you don't have any test series, good test series running, you don't have much books, though there are so many books, but not any book suffice your exam point of exam purpose. Most of the books are international books. They are very costly to buy, and ultimately you do not have time to read those 1000 to 1500 pages books. Then third thing is, again, coaching is available or not, guidance is available or not, or mentorship is available or not. When all these three factors are available, when you are able to find all these three factors, then go with interest factor. What students tend to do, they first go with interest factor. I have a very good interest in philosophy, I'll take philosophy. But when I'm searching for any material, I don't get any good material. I don't have background in philosophy, so there is no one who can mentor me. there is no proper coaching available, there is no test series available, and ultimately what is happening, after sparing 3-4 attempts, I am now looking for another optional in which good coaching is available, notes are available in the market, and my background also matches. So this is what usually is the failure on the part of the aspirant while selecting an optional. So interest is there. Look, interest is okay. You have interest, you do not have interest, ultimately you have to qualify the examination. You don't have to do PhD. Only thing you have to do is you just have to get a rank. Once you are into LBS, you can pursue all kinds of interest. You have full life to pursue your interest. Over here, don't run after your interest. Run after those material in which those optionals in which ready material is available. Just mug it up and go and write the paper. Because you will see in humanities as well in any optional, there is a tendency of repetition of questions. Everywhere there is a tendency of repetition. So you just need to mug up the good notes available. You just need to understand the concepts, and you just need to write the answers. This is what optional is. This is how optional is prepared. If you will go into deep research mode, into a PhD mode, trust me, you will not be able to clear the exam anytime soon, and you have very limited time with you. Ultimately, at last, you will be frustrated. You will not be able to compete, and you will be out of this race. So idea is to remain in the race, and when you have to remain, when you are there to remain in the race, you need to follow some rules of the race. And rules of the race are: do not go into a research mode with optional. Many students, they have habit of researching in the optional. That will not help. Jitna concise, the more concise you will be, the better you will be able to cram the notes, the better you will be able to make it concise for you. Things will be very easy for you. Then how to select? Let us say how to select which optional we should go with. So first thing is, you can always start with the basic NCRTs. If you are choosing, let us say PSIR as optional. In PSIR, what we'll be doing over here, we'll be doing some basic readings of the important topics, and these classes will be free. Okay, so you can join my Telegram channel. From there, you will get the link of these classes. So classes will be free over here, and you will get basic readings. In the name of basic readings, in the name for this PSIR, NCRT is a good source as a basic reading. You can always pick up. You can always read class 11th NCRT political theory, Indian Constitution at work, world politics. These kinds of NCRTs will help you to understand the nature of the subject. They will also help you to understand how matchable the syllabus is, how overlapping the syllabus is with your GS paper. Another thing is, depending upon these reading from NCRTs, you can always visit your previous year question papers. And these previous year question papers will always help you to understand the way UPSC is asking. It will always help you to understand what kind of topics you need to do, what kind of repetition is there, how much repetition is there, and what kind of questions UPSC is asking. So depending upon those questions, you can always prepare for the exam. Then after doing these two things, you can always go with some coaching notes. You can always buy some coaching notes, or you're always free to join PSIR classes at Unacademy. Okay, so notes will help you in streamlining your preparation. They will help you in understanding the concepts without getting into the books. It will help you in preparing the paper as it is required for UPSC examination. As I'm saying again and again, we are not writing graduation examination over here. We are not writing master's examination over here. We are just writing UPSC optional paper. It has to be written the way it is sought to be written. So ultimately, do not go into research mode. Try to minimize your burden, because you have already so much of burden with your GS. When it comes to GS, you have so much of burden. Why unnecessary you are increasing your burden with such an optional which is very hard to prepare, which is very tough to prepare, and you are not able to prepare it on time. So that is why I'm saying choose such optional which has a overlapping syllabus with your GS. And PSIR is something in which you can easily find 40% of overlapping with your syllabus. Let us see how it happens. If you'll see the syllabus of UPSC, there are two papers in every optional, so is in PSIR. 250 marks each. And when it comes to PSIR, it is divided into 4 sections: paper 1, paper 2, 2 section, paper 1, 2 section, paper 2, 2 sections. So if you'll see paper 1, section A, first thing you need to understand theories of state. Very simple in nature: liberal state, Marxist state, feminist state. So these are very simple terminologies which you otherwise also read in newspapers, in your editorials. Then the concept of justice. If you will see, the question on justice is repeated every alternate year. Every alternate year, they are asking you a syllabus, a question on Rawls' theory of justice. This Rawls' theory of justice, they are also asking in ethics. So there is overlapping. You can see in ethics also you will be reading Rawls. In PSIR also you will be reading Rawls. You just need to read Rawls in PSIR. Ethics will be automatically done. Equality, affirmative action, these concepts you already read in your polity book. When you read Lakshmikant, or whenever you are doing any question, you are doing any MCQ, or or writing any mains answer, you have to delve upon the idea of equality. You have to write and read about the idea of equality. So this is how, when you will take up PSIR, paper 2 of GS, that is polity IR, will not be required to be done over there. You will be already doing it in PSIR syllabus. Then rights, again, nothing but an overlapping of theory of rights and other related topics, overlapping of your GS paper 2 syllabus, that is Indian polity and constitution. Then if you'll see democracy, very simple. You have been reading democracy since childhood. For the people, by the people, of the people. Basic definition. UPSC directly asks the question: what is deliberative democracy? What is participatory democracy? Classical theory of democracy. Name must be theory over here, but ideas are very crystal clear. Why? Because democracy is something which you exercise on day-to-day basis, which you read in newspapers. Democracies across the world. You also compare your democracy with Pakistani democracy, with Chinese democracy, with Bangladeshi democracy. So you have a clear understanding how democracy works and what exactly is democracy. This is what UPSC is asking. So this is what I am saying. I have already told you in starting, even if you are not reading political science books, then also somehow you are linked up with PSIR in your day-to-day existence. Whenever you are reading newspaper, you will find some 30-35% of the topics you will be covering from newspapers on day-to-day basis without getting into PSIR optional. Then this is something which is unique, because these ideologies, power, hegemony, they can only be found in PSIR. So this is unique to your optional. Then you have political ideologies: Marxism, socialism, then Gandhism, liberalism. These ideologies and ideas you also read in your Indian economy. If you must have studied Indian economy, it starts with the concepts of economics. Take a basics of economics, where type of economies are defined. Over there you are reading from an economic perspective. Over here you will be reading from a political perspective. The basic will remain same, because liberalism will remain liberalism, whether it is political liberalism or it is economic liberalism. Okay. So if you'll move to other parts of section A only, Indian political thought. Over here you need to do Indian thinkers, political thinkers. Of these political thinkers, you also tend to read in ethics. If you will see Arthashastra, if you will see Dharm Shastra, Buddhist traditions, then you have Gandhi, then you have Ambedkar. These thinkers you are already doing in your ethics. These thinkers are also covered in somehow related to your polity. If you will see Ambedkar, related to your polity as well. So when you are reading Indian political thought, automatically you are covering your ethics, moral thinkers. So moral thinkers are automatically covered in ethics when you are covering Indian political thought in PSIR. So you do not need to read that section of ethics. This is how overlapping works. Clear everyone? Any confusion? Getting it? समझ में आ रहा सबको? The next is, which is very interesting, that is Western political thought. We will start our classes with Western political thought. First, we will see what Plato says. So these are political thinkers from Greek, from ancient Greek, then Machiavelli, modern thinker, then Mill, Aristotle. Name you now, if you are reading it for first time, you must be finding these names very out of box. But trust me, these thinkers are very relatable. You will be able to live them. You will be able to see them in your day-to-day life. So this is how you can see Western political thought. One of the most interesting aspect of political science and very easy to understand, and UPSC also asks very simple and direct questions. Then you will have section B. Section B says Indian government and politics. This is nothing but manifestation of your constitution. This is nothing but extension of what you have read in Lakshmikant. If you will see the perspectives of liberal, Marxist, radical humanist, Dalit, you have already read them somehow. You have linked them in section A. Now you will be reading them in totality. Then political strategies of Indian freedom struggle directly from your modern India history. Directly. You don't have to do anything. You have already done in history, or if you are doing here, you don't need to do in history. This section of modern Indian history is not required to be done in paper 1. We will be doing in PSIR paper. We will be directly doing in PSIR paper. Making of Indian Constitution, legacies of British rule, all those British India Acts which you are already doing over there, or if you will do here, it will not be required over there. So idea is to minimize your efforts. I am saying again and again, PSIR has so much of overlapping of subjects of syllabus. If you will do PSIR thoroughly, 40% of your GS will be covered automatically without any hassle. Salient features of Indian Constitution, nothing. You are already doing this. Fundamental rights, duties, preamble, directives, parliamentary system, amendment procedure. This is nothing but Lakshmikant only. So you don't need to do Lakshmikant if you are sitting in my PSIR classes. Then you can see principal organs of union government, state government. Then you have grassroots democracy, panchayats. Then you have statutory institutions, constitutional institutions, non-constitutional institutions, statutory bodies. Everything you are already covering in polity. So if you are covering here, it will not be required in your polity sessions. Okay. Then comes PSIR stands for Political Science and International Relations. Okay. Then you have federalism. So federalism is again something you are already reading in your day-to-day newspaper. Let us say there was recent crisis of GST, where center is denying paying GST or contributing GST, transferring GST to centers. So this is nothing but over here UPSC can ask a direct question on GST and its impact on center-state relationships. Directly it is lifted from current affairs. In COVID era, states are demanding money from center. Center is denying them. So automatically question comes up on federalism. This federalism you already must be doing in your polity. Okay. So ultimately this is what I am saying. PSIR is nothing but an extended version of polity. Next you can see planning economic development. This you are already doing. Types of planning in India, this you must have done already in Indian economy. So this portion of Indian economy is also covered through PSIR syllabus. Then you have religion, caste, ethnicity in Indian politics. This is something unique over here. You will be doing over here. And moreover, when you are reading newspapers, editorials, automatically you are covering these sections on day-to-day basis. On religion, on caste system, you are covering editorials. Let us say Bhima Koregaon issue. It was in news yesterday also. So this is how you can see. Whenever you are reading newspaper, you are already covering such kind of aspects. Party system, types of party system, political party system. Then you have behavior, electoral behavior, patterns of coalition politics. Then you already this topic we will be covering in post-independence India. Post-independence India is nothing but India since independence. Political changes, political turmoil, social changes in India since 1947. This is what party system in India also tells us how the political parties have performed from 1947 till date. Social movements, again, these are part and parcel of post independence India. If you'll read class 12th, India after independence, India since independence NCRT, so you will get to know both these aspects are covered in your post independence India also, and they will be covered in your PSIR also. Again, so you can see the overlapping nature of the syllabus. Now we'll move to paper 2. In paper 2, the syllabus is unique. It talks about the theories of international politics. Very easy to understand, very interesting. In case if any one of you want to be IFS, Indian Foreign Services Officer, you should always go with PSIR optional. This optional, in fact, there have been many students, many of my students in past 5-6 years who wanted to be IFS, and so they have chosen PSIR, and ultimately this PSIR has really helped them in nailing the interview, because most of the questions in interview were from their option only, and they were very good at their option. They have prepared it well, and ultimately they have cleared the examination, and 90% of them were engineers, were basically from engineering background. So ultimately, if you are from a non-science background, PSIR is not tough for you. It is very easy for you, very easy to understand if you are from engineering background. Okay. Then if you'll see section over here, comparative politics, state in comparative perspective, politics of representation and participation. So these are something which must be new for you. So I'll not delve much into much over here, because this will be studying, and this is part and parcel of your IR. Then you have globalization. Daily, on day-to-day basis, you read something about globalization, you discuss something about globalization, and newspaper writes something about globalization. Over here, globalization we will study as economic concept, as social concept. Okay. Clear? Then you have various approaches. Then key international concepts of international relations. So these are just pure part of PSIR, part and parcel of theory section of PSIR. Then next you will see changing international political order. Again, this is something from your day-to-day current affairs. Cold War, nuclear threat. Then you have hegemony. Then international economic system, WTO. All these institutions you are already reading in your Indian economy. So this is nothing but manifestation of your paper 3. So from paper 3 you will be able, GS paper 3, you will be able to understand, you will be able to relate all these topics. Then next is United Nations, International Organization paper 2, then regionalization of world politics, contemporary global concerns. This is nothing but current affairs. Either way you will be doing. Gender justice, human rights, democracy, nuclear proliferation, environment, terrorism, nothing but current affairs. You will be doing it in your day-to-day GS paper. Then comes section B of paper 2, pure IR, which you are already doing in GS paper 2. GS paper 2 you are already doing IR. So when you will do over here, GS paper 2 IR will not be required to be done, because you will be already covering India's foreign policy in PSIR. You will be covering NAM, you will be covering South Asia, you will be covering various policies. So you will be covering everything over here. Then India and the Global South, you have new international economic order, WTO, various new organizations, India's concerns with economic institutions. So everything will be covered. Then India with EU, China, Japan, India with security, India with UNSC, India with United Nations, India and nuclear question, and recent developments of policy. So you can see over here, India, US, India, Israel, India position on West Asia, Afghanistan, Iraq, and all these topics are nothing but your current affairs. Already you have to do in your paper. Clear? So you can see overlapping syllabus, essay. It will help you in writing essay. In fact, in 2018, 17-18, there was a question on NAM, efficacy of NAM, how relevant NAM is for us. So it was direct. It was very easy for PSIR students. They nailed it. They secured some 140, 150 mark. GS paper 1 we have already seen. Modern history. Then you have post-independence India and few sections of globalization from Indian society. GS paper 2 completely, except government schemes, everything in GS paper 2 will be covered in PSIR. GS paper 3 we have seen economic institutions, international order, globalization, and GS paper 4 you have various moral thinkers. So this is how you can see out of this 600 marks. Sorry. Out of this around 1200 marks you will be able to secure. Sorry, 1250 marks. I'm so sorry for this. 1250 marks you will be able to see that around 500 marks are overlapping with PSIR. Then you have another 500 marks for PSIR. So 1000 marks paper is somehow overlapping with each other. It is very easy to comprehend. It is very easy to understand that 500 marks we will be doing directly. That is your PSIR. Another 500 marks will be a follow-up kind of. That is your overlapping syllabus. You just have to focus on the next 750 marks. Okay, so this is how you can see that PSIR is really helpful for your day-to-day preparation, and it is helpful for your GS, and it is one of the most scoring optional as well. If you will see previous year questions, so very simple. We have already discussed deliberative democracy, Gandhi idea of Swaraj. Already you are doing this in ethics. Then Aristotle critique of Plato. So Plato is one thinker, Aristotle is a student. So ultimately a very direct question. Communitarian perspective on justice, very direct question. Negative and positive concepts of liberty. You must have seen previous year 2019 prelims paper. There was question on negative liberty. So from here you can solve that question as well. Then constitutional mandate of interstate council. Already you are doing it in your polity. Then you have political decentralization. That means Panchayati Raj, Chipko movement, national movement in India was anti-imperialist in nature. So this is again kind of modern India. Then green revolution. So from Indian economy. So already you are covering these topics in your GS. When you are reading PSIR, when you are taking PSIR as an optional, you don't need to cover over there. Then you have question on Mill. Mill is one of the thinker. Political theory. What is a decline of political theory? What is distributive justice? What is substantive democracy? These are the previous year questions. See how direct they are. Once you will do the classes, once you will read the material, once you will do it thoroughly, you will be able to write such answers. Then generation of human rights. Then you have Macpherson view on democracy. This is a theory part. Relationship between power, authority and legitimacy. Very direct question you have. Then John Locke, again one of the political thinker. He is father of liberalism. They have directly asked, explain why John Locke is father of liberalism. You just need to write about John Locke, liberalism, and how he became the father of liberalism. Ambedkar's view on annihilation of caste. This was asked indirectly in GS also. Okay, this is covered in Indian society as well. So very simple questions are there. Machiavelli view on religion and politics. Very simple questions. Then 1857 Sepoy Mutiny. You must have done in modern India. Okay. Then you have modern Indian history. Indian constitution is lawyer's paradise. Various kinds of all the cases which you are reading in polity, from first amendment till Keshan and Bharti or till date, everything will be covered. Then you have GST NEET. Implementation of GST NEET is a challenge to Indian federalism. Very simple question. Judicial activism, very simple topic. You already do in your GS. Lieutenant governors and power. difference between the powers of lieutenant governor and governor, you are already doing in Lakshmikant. So this is how you can see. It is very simple in nature. PESA, ethnic conflicts in Northeast. This question is directly lifted from internal security, part and parcel of internal security. Okay. Then you have arguments for and against lateral entry system. So this is nothing but current affairs. Lateral entry system is nothing but current affairs. You must be doing in your GS as well. Asymmetrical federalism, current affairs. Various reasons of agrarian crisis, both current and static. Then increasing role of regional parties. This is static from PSIR. Then critically analyze environmentalist movement in Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu. This was current affairs of 2018-2019. 2018 current affairs. So directly they have asked, because there was in Tuticorin plant there was a gas leak, and ultimately they have directly lifted this question from there, and they have asked from a current point of view. So this is how you can see PSIR is very relatable and very much considerable optional. Then how to prepare? You can join Unacademy and you can use my code KS Live. So over here, how we will be doing? We have different kinds of modules. So first is Iconic you have. In Iconic, you will get one-on-one mentorship. You will get daily answer writing. In Iconic, you will have various other kinds of benefits like current affairs. And Iconic is available for you at 57,600 1 year, 89,100 at 2 year. You just need to apply the code KS Live. So you can choose this option, or you can do, if you want to, do on your own. So you have other kinds of books as well. So what Unacademy will be doing? We'll be starting the batch very soon. We'll be doing weekly answer writing sessions. We'll be doing one-on-one doubt clearing sessions. Then I'll be providing you notes in PDFs as well. All important books will be covered in class, and it will be a 4-month course, after which you'll be able to write each and every question asked in mains examination. This is my guarantee to you. Yeah, once you'll sit into my sit in my classes, you will be able to solve all the answers of UPSC mains. Okay, so this is how we'll be covering. In case if you have some other plans, you can always go with this book list. For theory, you have OP Gauba, then you have Andrew Hayward, Rajiv Bhargav, then you have Ramaswamy and Mukherjee, then you have Mehta, DD Basu, JC Jowhary, Rajiv Sikri. So this is, newspapers are very essential for your PSIR optional. You have IGNOU material as well. You can download that. It is available online, so you can read with that as well. But a proper mentorship will always help you in nailing the examination in least possible time. Okay, you can read all these books. You will take 2 or 3 years, 1 year, 1.5 years to read all these books and understand the topics, comprehend the issues. But when you will sit in the class in 4 months, just in 4 months, you will be able to make sure I'll make sure that you will be able to complete the syllabus in 4 months only. So in the next 4 months, you will be master in political science, and you'll be able to write all the questions which are asked in PSIR previous years. So you'll be able to solve them. Any other doubt? So any doubt you have? So in case you want to download this PPT, you can join this Telegram channel, Unacademy_Kapil_Sikka. You can use my code KS Live for 10% discount. So presuming there is no doubt. Yes, Lakshmikant contains all topics, but Lakshmikant is for polity. So when you're reading it in PSIR, you will be you do not require Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant is not required after you are choosing PSIR and reading the important books of PSIR or attending the classes. Clear, everyone? So presuming there is no doubt as of now. So in case if any doubt arises, you can always contact me on unacademy_Kapil_Sikka. So I'll be happy to take your doubts there. And time to sign off. And soon you will be getting a schedule in which we'll be conducting few sessions on this channel. That will be free for all. Depending upon what you understand from these sessions, you can always join the full-fledged course. So clear, everyone? Okay, so see you in next class. Till then, take care, everyone. Do not forget to use my code KSLive. Do like this video, subscribe the channel, and whenever doubt arise, do ask me on Telegram. So let's crack it, guys. Take care.